the fact that the creation narrative certainly appears to present sunlight before the creation of the sun, I would argue is an indicator of the author, right? My own personal opinion, the author is telling the reader, we ought not to necessarily interpret these 7 days as like a literal 7 days, right? Like there's more going on in the story that's being presented than simply a factual right? Just I'm recording the facts. Right. And right. So it's like the narrator of Genesis is telling us their story. It, in my opinion, it's purposefully inconsistent with itself. But this, I mean, but this is a big issue, right? This is a big issue in how should we understand the fact that we have daylight on day 1 before the creation of the sun on day 4, and it certainly looks like, right? Certainly seems like everyone on earth understands already that daylight comes from the sun. And so you get, as Josh mentioned, right, if you read early Christian interpreters of the creation narrative, right, they're very invested in this problem, right, of like, right, because the old, right, ancient Christians, they're very what's the word, they're convinced about the inspiration of God, right? Like they said, this is a true story. So how do we deal with the fact that there's this logical problem? And you can read, right, like Augustine, Augustine and Ambrose and Basil, and like there's a lot of right, like all I'm saying is like in the early centuries of Christianity, right, this was a hot button topic, right?